Courthouse, 3rd floor. And at this time, I'd like to have you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Just a notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You are requested to approach the microphone, state your name for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chairperson to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call vote will follow. First item on our agenda is the approval or amendment of the agenda that has been presented.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the agenda as printed.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Patton.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. All right, item number 2, the years of service recognition. Our first one being, as they would say in the sports market, a 40-year veteran of a certain department, and he's had I'm sure he's felt the highs and the lows, the goods and the bads, but always coming out on top. And Craig Medill, Craig, come on up here. I told him to limit his speaking to just 15 minutes, and that's like 2 minutes for 2.5 minutes for every year you've been here. But we want to thank you. I tell you, 40 years, that's a milestone. I guess I was wondering, when you first started, did you think you'd be in one place for 40 years?
No, but time goes by faster than you think.
And I tell you what, with the ever-changing markets and stuff, that's got to be quite a I don't hate to say struggle to stay on top of it, but it takes a lot of looking into. And I'm sure you get asked questions all the time about what's going on.
Yeah. Well, computers today help a lot. It's quite a difference from back in the day when everything was on a paper card.
Well,
Now it's in the computer.
so you went over that hump, you're in the computer, and now we're setting our sights for the next 40 years. So congratulations from all of us in Marshall County, and 40 years, that's quite a milestone. Thank you. Give her a round of applause. And our next one is Radonna Bracy, and 10 years for Radonna, and we'd like to thank her. I know I've been out there at the jail, and that's where she's a nurse at, the jail nurse. And I tell you, the environment she works in is unbelievable, and she does a great job, and we appreciate everything Radonna has done. And 10 years, another veteran of service for 10 years. So thank you, Radonna. All right. Moving on to item number 3, Marshall County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. This is a public hearing. Any resident may present objections to or arguments in favor of any part of the proposed Marshall County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazardous Mitigation Plan. This plan identifies hazards, goals, and plans of action for the unincorporated area of Marshall County and for every city in the county. I will call the public hearing to be open. And were there any written comments filed?
No, there were none.
Any individuals that we have here would like to make any comments or questions? Marty, well, you're kind of the question asking guy.
I guess 4 or 5 months ago, the Marshall County Board here approved the final draft of the document that was submitted on to FEMA for comments, and they had 6 or 8 different comments back on the plan. So I'd say 98% of the plan is the same as it was 4 to 5 months ago when the board approved it. So this is your final step in approving the plan. So the plan talks about ways to reduce the impact of different disasters on Marshall County. So
And this is just a continuation of what we've been doing.
Right.
Basically, anyway, just
So.
okay. All right. Any questions for Marty? Any questions from the audience? Then I need a. I would need a motion to close the public hearing at 9:05.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'd second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer,
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 4, resolution Marshall County multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan, which we've just discussed. And I'd entertain a motion on this resolution 2016-0022.
Go ahead, Bill.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt resolution 2016-0022, a resolution of the Marshall County Board of Supervisors adopting the Marshall County multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer,
Yes. All right, moving on item number 5, proposed vacation of a portion of Franklin Street in Lamoille, Lamoille, Iowa, petition number 840, public hearing. We'll open the public hearing. Are there anyone interested persons that are present for the public hearing on the vacation of the following? And then again, it explains the 295 feet of Franklin Street, west lots 1, 13, 15 in Block C, and Keith's addition to Lamoille, Section 3, T83 North, R19 West, Washington Township, Marshall County, Iowa. If there's anybody interested or any concern, I'll have a public hearing now.
You have one.
Pardon me? Oh, yes,
I'm the one that put the petition in,
okay.
Cheryl Hurst.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay,
Do you want to come up and you have anything to talk about? Okay.
okay.
Oh, okay.
You just filed the petition,
Yeah,
okay.
well, we're the owners of that property.
Oh, okay, okay,
So,
Very good.
okay. Oh, yeah, were there any written,
There wasn't
Question.
anything written. I did get a call from Alliant Energy,
Okay.
and they're concerned there is a gas line, and it's going through part of Franklin Street, but that will be all covered through the resolution when we go through and say the
Okay.
utility easements, but just wanted to mention that that was
okay,
talked about.
The easements will stay with the property.
Absolutely.
okay. And we did have one written, comment by somebody, so, all right. First of all, I need a motion to, if there's anything else that need to come forth.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we close the public hearing at 9:07.
Mr. Chairman, I'd second that.
All right, got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer,
Yes. All right, item number 6, proposed vacation of alleys in Lamoille, Iowa, petition number 841, public hearing. Again, were there any interested persons for the public hearing on the vacation of the following? And it goes through this, all of the east, west, and north-south alleys in Block C, in Keith's addition to Lamoille, Marshall County, Iowa. This is a notice of the public hearing as it was published in the Times Republican on June 8th and the Mid-Iowa Enterprise newspaper on June 9th. We'll go through the same thing with our individuals presenting written comments on this one. And Charlene, and that would be you.
Yes.
Were there any written comments turned into you?
the same thing.
Same
It's
thing,
all kind of
okay.
been the same with the Alliant.
All right. Any other comments from the public?
I just want to say, Denny, that all those certified mail, all the certified mail that went out, it went to 18 different people and utilities, and we heard back from 17 to 18.
Okay, okay.
And one of them was one of the utilities, right?
Yes, and one of them was one of the utilities. We heard back from all the property owners.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, I'll need a motion to close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we close the public hearing at 9:09.
And Mr. Chairman, I'd second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer,
Yes. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Number 7, approve the minutes from regular session of May 31, 2016. Number 8, accept file of District Court Report 516 of General Supplemental Fund 10% surcharge for a total of $976.83. Number 9, accept annual manure management plan update. PLA LLC, PLA site ID number 63758, has made no changes to their mineral management plan. The mineral management plan update has been received and placed on file. And item 10, approve the claims as audited and authorize the county auditor and recorder to issue payment of same. The listing of claims paid at this meeting will be included with all claims paid for the month of June. The June list of claims will be part of the first meeting in July. I would entertain a motion on our consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the consent agenda as printed.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ravenbauer.
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 11, approve personnel actions, change rate of pay for Cindy Reitzel, Auditor and Recorder's Office, Assistant Auditor and Recorder, change rate of pay from $21.39 an hour to $22.39 an hour, effective July 1, 2016. And I guess I'll turn it over to you, Deanne, on, because this is out of your office.
It is. So this is something that we talked at budget time in regards to Cindy, and we kind of negotiated it for it to start July 1st. Cindy Reitzel is my election deputy, and she's been with Marshall County for over 13 years. And she's a great asset in our department, and we need to show her that. So that's part of the reason for increasing her pay a little bit to show.
And that's all, that's still part of, you still got that dollar in your budget.
Absolutely, yeah. This is, starting July 1st will be my actual budget. I'll finally be on my own budget. So this is something that will entail that. The nice thing about Cindy is since she's been in our office for so long, she has recording capability. She also has, she used to do passports with us. She used to do, she knows a lot about, you know, doing some research in the back in the books. She can do transfers, land transfers, and read legal descriptions. So there's a lot of stuff behind her
Basically, able to work on
experience.
both.
Yeah, yeah. Now she's just moved into the assistant for elections, so, but she's able to do a multitude of other things.
Okay,
Deanna's also stayed well within her budget on all
Yes.
of these items.
yes.
Very, very, very much so.
All right, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve this personnel action.
Mr. Chairman, I second
You
that.
got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ravenbauer.
Yes. Moving on to item number 12, resolution number 2016-0023, fiscal year lease purchase agreement amendment. Whereas a public hearing was held on February 24, 2015 regarding the purchase of new law enforcement rated vehicles in fiscal year 2016, the Sheriff's Office, and a pickup for the Buildings and Grounds Department. Again, we had talked about this and passed this at a public hearing in February of 2015. Any questions? Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt resolution 2016-0023 FY16 lease purchase agreement amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ravenbauer.
Yes. All right, item number 13, resolution 2016-0024, appropriation of funds for fiscal year 2016-17. Whereas it is desired to make appropriations for each of the different offices and departments for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2016, in accordance with section 331-434, parentheses 6, Code of Iowa. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Marshall County as follows. And it shows that we got our appropriations and totaling $23,879,786. Any comments? Questions?
This was the smoothest budget we've done in some time.
We really stayed on to it. I mean, it really.
Everyone needs to know, though, that when we do budget, every one of the department heads come in individually, we go through every line.
Absolutely.
And it isn't something we just say, oh, okay, that's good. You know, we ask questions and they come in and our department heads did a good job.
The budget is very much so a team effort. Everybody worked very well with it and stayed within our requests of guidelines. I hope we have as smooth a one next year, but I don't think it's gonna happen, so let's enjoy this while we can.
I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would motion that we adopt resolution number 2016-0024 for the appropriation of funds for the fiscal year 2016-2017 budget.
Mr. Chairman, I second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer,
Yes. Item 14, Resolution 2016-0025, Advance Assurance of Payments. Board of Supervisors pursuant to Section 331.506, parentheses 3A and B, Code of Iowa may authorize the county auditor and recorder to issue payment when said board is not in session for the following purposes. And what it's got is our fixed charges that include limited freight, and so on like that, just things that come up during the day, salaries and payrolls that have been fixed through the budget. I would entertain a motion on resolution 2016-0025.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we adopt resolution 2016-0025, advance insurance of payments for FY 2016-17.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that motion.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? There again, that's just some housekeeping that we have to do every year to authorize the auditor recorder to do things, like
Yep, all the reoccurring bills.
all the reoccurring bills. Very good. All right, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer,
Yes. All right, moving on, item number 15, resolution number 2016-0026, secondary road resolution, weight limit bridge posting revised. And Paul Geilenfeld, might as well just call you up there and explain why we revised.
Yeah, let's go over the three changes, if we could, please.
There's 5 posting changes that we're dealing with on this resolution, but it's postings that are the result of inspections and just condition and deterioration of these bridges. The 3 of them, A11, C6, and E19, are the 3 that are new postings, bridges that were not weight restricted before, but now are going to have it's not a major restriction, but it's less than legal all the same. E19 is one that we can bring back up to legal once we get the deck plank replaced. It's a rating based on the strength of the deck. It's a timber deck bridge. And the one that stands out for me is G10, because that's one of our North Center Street bridges, and it's being decreased from 15 tons to 10 tons. And that is essentially dictating that all of the loads to the waterworks are going to have to come in from the north on 182nd Street, because almost nothing that they bring in can make a 10-ton weight limit.
What happens if they bring it in over the bridge after it's posted? Do we have to have a DOT?
Do I have to
guy
say in a
catch
public
them?
meeting? No, it's, the thing is, enforcement on our bridge system is tough to get. It's gonna be a matter of, there are loads that they bring across with a special permit from me, and there's things that you can do. You can center line the load, bring your speed down to 5 miles an hour or less, and things that all require special permits from my office to do.
Have you informed Steve of this change?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Okay.
But that's still it's going to be an extra cost for them, because they're the people providing chemicals that have to drive a little bit further to do their delivery. And then J15 is also on all the other changes are on our bridges on a rock system. The posting on J15 it's a truss bridge that is just east of Highway 14 on, I think, is it Ridge Road? I have to look and see what it's. That's on our list to get replaced at some point in the next 5 years. It's just, so I mean, these bridges they're on our radar, but the new postings are things that we really haven't programmed for, so.
Have we changed any of our 5-year plan
Not
with
yet.
these new ones?
Not yet, but these things play into future 5-year plans
Okay.
that we will be submitting.
Any other questions?
No.
Mis-
as of already. I mean, the postings are being changed. G10 and J15 are currently posted at the new level, and the other 3 that are new postings, we're waiting on one call locates to get the signs in.
Okay. All right, I would entertain a motion on this resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt resolution number 2016-0026, weight limit bridge postings.
Chairman, I second that.
I got a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. And I want to bring you back up in public forum too, just to talk about the North Center Street bridges.
Okay?
So we'll keep going through here, but I want to bring you back up.
Yeah, I just gotta go sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to item number 16, Marshall County Emergency Management Agency. Discussion and possible action on approval to install an amateur radio linker at the courthouse. Number 1, thank you for coming in this morning.
You're welcome, number 2. Kim Elder with Emergency Management. He is our second in command with Emergency
You don't have to
Management,
tell him
so,
that.
you
Yeah,
know,
we
that's
wanna
why we
start a
call each
riot.
other 1 and
Don't
2.
want to start a riot.
So, the reason that we want to update the amateur radio linker here at the courthouse is the height. It's a good place for, and I'm not an amateur radio person, so I can't explain all of it. Evan is in charge of that, and he is working in IT today, so he's not up here. But he and Brian Crum are the ones that help me out throughout the different things that we do for communications, and ham radio is one of our best backup communications if everything else goes down. Not only can we communicate within the county, but all over the world, basically. So we've done a lot of upgrades, and all of it's fallen on the cost to basically the amateur radio people, so we haven't had any cost in that.
What kind of
They
cost
have,
are we looking at this?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, they're doing it on their own. They just want to be able to locate it here.
Sure.
That's the good thing about those volunteers. They're very dedicated, and they want the best equipment that they can get. So they do a good job on that. We've relocated one of their radio system setups out to the sheriff's office when I moved out there. Used to be located at Raycom, but since we have the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center out there, they're able to use it. We've tested that during the Dwayne Arnold training that we do every year. So yeah, it's just a really, really good backup. We use that with National Weather Service and some of the others that have constant ham radio operators. So they're just asking for permission to be able to place this here.
I was amazed how small it was when Evan showed
It's
me.
tiny,
I mean,
yeah.
it's literally no bigger than your cell phone.
Right, exactly. And it's just so that they can link different things
Yeah.
in together. So.
Then I'd entertain a motion.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the installation of the amateur radio linker at the courthouse.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
The amateur radio people have been a really important part throughout the many years of our country. So I would certainly feel honored to be able to help them out in this regard.
You bet.
As long as they're gonna.
We're gonna pay for it. yeah.
Why-
At
why
no
we-
cost.
Yeah,
Roll call, please.
Patton,
yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 17, jail inspection. The Iowa Department of Corrections conducted an inspection as required by Iowa Code Section 356 to ensure compliance with Chapter 201-50 of the Iowa Administrative Code on April 27, 2016. And very happy to report that they've come through the inspection with flying colors. One of our people was recognized that has spent 10 years with the Sheriff's Office, Radonna Bracy was mentioned, and Lucas Badke, Director of Buildings and Grounds. They did an outstanding job, and this is one of the best, quite frankly, the best jail inspections that we've ever seen. And we thank everybody involved in it. I mean, really, it was a team effort out there, really working hard out there, and again, thanks to Lucas and the jailers and people that really worked on this. So I would entertain a motion to acknowledge receipt of the jail inspection.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we acknowledge the receipt of the jail inspection done April 27th, 2016 by the Department of Corrections and to place it on file.
Mr. Chairman, I second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just the fact that it's been nice to see it improve each of the
Yes.
last 6 years.
Yep. Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ravenbauer,
Yes. All right, item number 18, liquor license, Class C liquor. License number LC 0010945 with Sunday sales privilege and outdoor service. This is a request from the West Marshall Golf Course Association doing business as Lincoln Valley Golf for renewal of their Class C liquor license. Entertain a motion on this.
Mr. Chairman, I'd approve the Class C liquor license LC 0010945 renewal request from Lincoln Valley Golf, State Center, Iowa. This license includes Sunday privileges, outdoor service, effective 6/30/2016 to 6/29/2017.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ravenbauer,
Yes. Item number 19, Central Iowa Community Services, discussion and possible action to approve the Central Iowa Community Services Employee Statement of Understanding between Marshall County, Iowa and the Central Iowa Community Services Governing Board. The statement identifies the individual employees, the position filed, and portion of the employee's wages and benefits that will be responsibility of the region. I see Jill is here. Is there anything you'd like to add to this or say to this? Get your camera time.
This is due to the continued 28E agreement between Marshall County and Central Iowa Community Services. This is just allocating the portion of time in my office of the 3 individuals that is regional time, and it's 95% for my time and Lisa Soder's time, and 100% for Linda White, the administrative assistant's time. So of those salaries, that portion is paid through the region, so. It's just
Okay.
to clarify that, and then
Okay.
once you approve that here, then it's also approved at the governing board level that Mr. Patton sets on, so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And there's 10 counties
10
involved
counties in
in
our
this region.
Central Iowa Community Services.
And we're not all touching, but there's 10 counties within central Iowa that are involved with this.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we adopt Central Iowa Community Services Employee Statement of Understanding for Marshall County Community Service employees.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ravenbauer,
Yes. All right, item 20, cigarette, tobacco, and nicotine vapor permit application. This is a request from Mandora Petroleum, Inc., Rendala Travel Center for a cigarette, tobacco, and nicotine vapor permit effective July 1, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. I'll entertain a motion on this.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve this request.
Mr. Chairman, I second.
A motion and a second. Any comments, discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ravenbauer,
Yes. All right, item number 21, lease between the Masonic Holding Corporation and Marshall County. Discussion and action on a lease between the Masonic Holding Corporation and Marshall County regarding rooms number 204, 5, 6, 7, 8A, 9, and 216, consisting of approximately 270 feet used for general office use by juvenile court services, second floor, Masonic Temple Building 26 South, First Avenue. Marshalltown, terms of the lease shall be for 2 years, July 1, 2016 through June 30 of 2018, at the rate to be determined per month. And you have got the contract?
I've got both leases here. They sent over 2. Spoke with their attorney that does these leases earlier this week, Jim Goodman, and they've requested a $600 increase over last year, which would put the increase to $13,800 on an annual basis, or $1,150 a month. It's approximately a 5% increase. I know they've been doing some upgrades and things at the building that we lease. I expressed the fact that we had already passed our budget and didn't know if we had the funds, but there are some funds. This is only a $600 difference, and I asked him to provide us with 2 leases, one being the current rate of $1,100 per month and one being the requested rate of $1,150 per month. So the term is the same on both. All of the conditions are the same. It's just the different amounts.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up. Neither my ears weren't hearing, but it's 2,127 square feet.
Yes.
2127.
Yes.
Yeah, and I could have misheard what you said, but I want to be sure everyone wasn't the same position I was.
Okay.
So, it kinda came out, it was 200.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, 2000.
Yeah, we have
We
six
don't put 'em in a
different
box.
Yeah,
different
yeah.
offices.
Bathroom.
Yep.
Okay,
Well, I think one of the things too is, don't we have to supply or provide a place for juvenile court services?
Yes,
I mean, we have to do this anyway.
absolutely.
I guess the only question or concern that I may have is, since our budget is already set for this, do we have to
That
do
was,
some reappropriation or something? I mean, do we have to make some kind of adjustments to?
it'll be a very minor adjustment when we do an amendment that we typically do in February. You know, we have plenty of money in the non-departmental portion that we typically don't spend it to the 100%. I did also make a request to Mr. Goodman that in the future, they let us know during our budget period rather than after we've already appropriated the funds for that fiscal year. So in the future, I would hope that we get a little bit longer notice on this lease coming due.
he did imply that these, there's funds being used over there to improve the conditions upon where they work.
Oh, without question.
I know they've had a lot of trouble with the bathrooms.
They've had some issues. They've had some issues that some of the cleanliness in the areas of being caused by individuals that are in there. Specifically, it's come down to individuals that were out of the juvenile court system. You know, they're sometimes not real happy to be there.
Well, that's the game they have to play.
I understand.
So,
But what happens if somebody else comes to us and says, hey, we need more money for something after our budget's already set? I mean, that's the only thing that I don't feel real good about, but I mean, that's just.
And I'm not advocating either position. Don't shoot the
Yeah.
messenger, I'm just giving the
Yeah.
facts. That's why I wore the red shirt today for the target.
For a target.
Shoot between the white lines.
You know, I mean,
I think Denny, you have a very valid point, that even though it's not very much, and it's gonna be used properly, once we do this, we open the gate and say, you guys, you still got a little bit of money over there, we need another $50. And that could strain our working conditions a little bit.
you know, the thing is, it's almost a reasonable amount, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's the deal.
Maybe we could have.
We got 2 leases here. I guess one of them is to continue with the 1,115.
One lease would be $1,150 per month, the other lease would be $1,100 per month.
You guys-
Bill, I've done a lot of talking with Mr. Goodman on this. If you would make the motion, I'd appreciate it.
I'm gonna put a motion out, and then you can, aye or nay, whatever you do, won't hurt my feelings one way or the other. But I'm gonna say, Mr. Chairman, I move, to approve a lease for 2 years at the rate of $1,150 per month.
That is the one that was with the increase.
That's the increase.
All right, we got a motion
I will second that.
and a second. Any further discussion? You know, I say I don't like it, and I don't like it. I mean, doing it like that, because we don't, there again, are we setting that precedent? Come to us anytime, because we always got money for you if we need it. But I also look at it as anytime we've got any kind of a structure problem, any questions, you get a hold of Mr. Goodman and they handle it.
He's been very good to work with.
We have to provide this office space for this program.
Yep, the building is held by the Masonic Holding Corporation, and
And as you say, it's our responsibility.
yes,
We
to
have
provide
we
the
have to
spaces.
provide it for these people.
I think, and you probably, and you already have made it clear to him this will not happen again.
That's a request. I can't control somebody else.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Patton.
Yes.
Sorry. Thompson.
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. Moving on to item number 22. Sheriff's Department Extension 28E, agreement between Marshall County and the City of Albion for law enforcement protection. Discussion, possible action on the extension to a 28E agreement between Marshall County and the City of Albion for law enforcement protection within the corporate limits of the City of Albion. The agreement is effective July 1, 2016 through June 30, 2017. The City of Albion agrees to pay Marshall County the sum of $11,940 for this service. I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve the extension to the 28 agreement between Marshall County and the City of Albion effective July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. The City of Albion agrees to pay Marshall County the sum of $11,940.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
All right, got a motion and a second. As far as discussion goes, this has been out to the Albion community for probably 5 months anyway. And this is just kind of a continuation of the law enforcement that we do with them. It's nothing new. It's just they've just now got us the paperwork and the approval. So roll call, please.
Patton.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. Moving on to item number 23, public forum. This is time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum. And any public for forum, Paul, I got a question we need to ask you. I guess I just heard in the city council last night that they're not going to do the bridge work now for 2019.
How to get to 2019?
Well, it's my birthday that year, and I think I don't know. But
No,
that's how
it's-
far Justin was saying it's
No,
going to go out.
we are gonna have some delays, but they're centered on our DNR approval that I've been informed by our consultants that's gonna take at least 6 months to get our DNR approval, so that making a letting this winter is not realistic at this point.
How does that affect the grant money
They-
that we read?
We're still be within the time frame of getting the money obligated, because as soon as
If
the
it goes out
project
to
is.
2019, we're still okay?
We're not gonna go to 2019. I don't know how Justin got that. It's 2018 construction though now, instead of 2017 construction, because I had hoped that we could get it let this winter and build it next summer. And that's not gonna be feasible, because we won't, it looks like the earliest we can get a letting date is gonna be November of 2017, and it might be December of 2017. Now, the good thing is that's very early in the letting season for 2018 construction.
Sure.
So we'll have bridge contractors that don't have their work, we'll have more interested, bidders going that way. It does mean that we have to use these bridges one more year than what we really wanted to have to use them. And that's my biggest concern, is that G10 and G13, and because they're just gonna continue to deteriorate and be more restricted on what their weight limits are gonna be. But the 2080 is gonna progress. It's just that I'm not in a fireball mode for the 2080, because I'm trying to work out some of the details with the city on what the city wants for just things that are, what do I wanna say, extra pieces of the bridge, whether it's a rail design or where the sidewalk is gonna be, things that the city is concerned with on that bridge.
I just wanted to ask you that.
But yeah, I think it's still totally have 2018 construction on our sites.
Any other questions? Paul? Thank you, sir. Anything else? Public forum, Chuck? All right, nobody coming up, already leaving. We'll, maybe the next one, we'll call for the adjournment. The next regular session is scheduled for June 28, 2016 at 9 a.m. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the county auditor and recorder's office or the Board of Supervisors office by Thursday, June 23, 2016 at 1 p.m. There be no further business to come before the board. We are adjourned at 9:40.